صفوق عشان الوقت في وقت غير كذي.
Welcome. The final act in this drama would not be complete without you two here as—
You better believe it! We're the ones who've been doing all the work! What exactly have—
well, naturally, I used the time to immerse myself completely in Legend of the Shattered Halberd, Divine Halberd, and Ominous Sword, Mir and Wei Yang. The way the story develops across the first 5 volumes, nothing short of exemplary. But the 6th volume? Words fail. How blessed we are to have such an author grace our world with such works.
And this is related to Gentry Moutsai.
It's not. But when something surpasses expectations to such a degree, one must show one's appreciation. And it is thanks to your help that everything will play—
Why does Paimon have to be the only one who doesn't get what's going— So go on then, tell me.
Think about it. Gentry Moutsai goes searching for core lapis all over Liyue Harbor, and he doesn't find a single piece. He panics. Without the goods, he can't fulfill his contract. And if he can't fulfill his contract, he can't stay in good standing with the Fatu. He hears a rumor that the Feiyun Commerce Guild is the culprit. Panic. Gentry Moutsai is a hugely powerful figure in the business world. Never has— So regardless of whether it is revenge or a swift resolution that he—
So it was you! You were the one sticking your necks out for Chang the Ninth!
Speak of the devil.
I went everywhere trying to find someone selling core lapis before I realized the Feiyun Commerce Guild had been on an acquisition spree.
اوكي كل ما فيه. صراحة بيتشكل في المود كنا كيسيكا.
Core lapis is hardly a rare mineral, and yet suddenly the stocks dry up, just like that.
We are not persecuting you, but protecting another, one to whom I am indebted. Upon witnessing— Was it not one of your own men who said, "This isn't over"?
You clearly don't know what's good for you. I won't beat around the bush. Master, if you please, seize their core lapis!
Time to act.
Midnight Phantasmagoria.
The hunter becomes the hunted.
Go, Barb!
Boring!
By royal decree!
With the wind! No escape! Evil conquering! So soon! Useless!
Impressive. You are no commoners. To continue this fight would be to incur greater loss.
Their strength is almost spent. Finish them off! The core lapis is almost within—
Might I remind you that the Fatui's relationship with you extends to business matters only?
What are you saying? Master,
Then figure it out by yourself.
Don't go. Wait! Master, wait!
My lord, what are you doing here? Are you hurt?
Thanks to this valiant young man, I am unscathed.
My lord?
You? You are the heir of the Feiyun Commerce Guild?
Indeed, my liege. I am Xing Chou, disciple of the Guhua clan and second son of the Feiyun—
Drats! I've been played like a fiddle.
Gentry Moutsai. Coercion and intimidation are hardly the attributes of a respectable businessman. The problems that your business practice, I shudder to think what the Fatui will do with you if you fail to provide their core lapis.
You meddling swine. Well, go on.
Since you asked Chang the Ninth for a discount of 70%, let's 3 times the market rate sounds fair, no?
How dare you subject me to such viciousness?
Deep breaths now. This is a simple decision.
I
On behalf of the Feiyun Commerce Guild, I thank you for your business, and hope you will continue.
You? Funny speaking book. So that massive stash of Mora, you let us burn.
'Twas but a paltry sum. I got to make a very sound investment while putting Gentry Moutsai in his place. A classic 2 birds, 1 stone situation. You're too kind. You have valor in your heart, and that...
Yikes! Paimon's been calling you Guhua Geek this whole time. Paimon read in one of these martial artist novels that when rich heirs like you get angry at someone, you have their arms and legs chopped off. Paimon's toast, and sorry, very sorry.
Calm down. Since you can fly, you hardly need your legs anyway.
Save me! Save me! This is not a drill. Repeat, this is not a drill!
Jokes aside, I have the 2 of you to thank for this successful resolution. Meanwhile, Legend of the Shattered Halberd was positively riveting. Much obliged if you could return. I did nothing, and hence deserve none of his gratitude. The 2 of you, meanwhile, though strangers to the circumstances, stepped to have made such valiant and chivalrous friends.
My lord, forgive the intrusion. It's about your...
Please inform my father thusly. I have averted a disaster and earned a sizable sum of money in the process. Might this meritorious act compensate for my prior transgressions and earn me a few more days of freedom, perchance? Legend of the Shattered Halberd speaks of a domain that...
For all your clever long words, the fact is you're just a lazy bones who does...
What if I told you that a reward awaits you at Chang the Ninth's palace, and not just his gratitude?
A reward? Well, that...
It seems whatever I say, there's no persuading you to stay. Oh, I didn't realize you weren't aware.
Thank you in advance for returning the book for me. I will take my leave now. May we meet again, fellow merchants.
Awesome. czekaj, Jessica jest, Tam czekaj, ale ty do tego sol. Czekaj, na kiki. Nein, Spaghe ka? Spaghe per il morchio ka. تيجي ده لك اخو طب بص كيك ده هتشرب صديقات تقرا اشتاق تيس كل انا كي والله ده رجع في صوره وقت
Finally, you're back. This morning, the
Jessica.
pawnbroker showed up and gave me back
Nein.
my entire collection.
Jessica ما سوى فيكو درايكو موت Jessica
I'm positive that you must have been behind this once again. Thank you. Thank you from the
Trafik
bottom
kendisine
of
bu da
my
kana
heart.
yazık.
Please don't say that. You have no idea how much this means to me. The Chang family was a prestigious household in Liyue back in the day. Unfortunately, after I took over the family's affairs as heir, since then I've saved for years, hoping to restore the house to its former glory. In the end, were it not for you, this barren wasteland in the mountains would have become my...
Wow, that's the second heir we've met in this town.
I'm sorry, what?
Nothing? Oh,
Wonderful. Legend of the Shattered Halberd. I was beginning to think that Guhua rascal had swindled me.
do people really look down on the Guhua clan so much?
Actually, the art is centuries old, and was once held in high esteem. But now it has faded beyond recognition. To instigate a revival, you need to inject some fresh blood, but it's hard to attract budding young talent to a dying art. And so it becomes a vicious... In any case, Guhua kids these days. Take that young rascal Xingqiu, for instance. For all his talk about repaying kindness with kindness and whatnot, what does it matter? Anyway, you wanted the Liyue volume of the Tevat Travel Guide, didn't you? I'll fetch it for you. It's yours to keep. In addition, here is but a small token of appreciation for your huge generosity. My ore is sold, and my treasured books have returned. What?
بخاك سيخو جونا قد بدا خاك قزي بنده لا بيرس
What was that? Paimon saw something fall out.
Oh, nothing, nothing. That little rascal surely isn't... I swear I'll reclaim my lost fortune.
بس الأوغش يعني ياي
Flensburg wird 50 gecodet.
اوكي تخيل جناك يجي
Was Unmögliches passiert.
Now I can get back everything I lost.
Useless.
Weißt du, wie schlimm seine Dings heißt?
Spelen na Marco.
Ja, der Typ, die Wände. Also, die einfach die richtig gut.
Devi proprio extra artefatti, non me ne avevi?
Jeder sagt, ja,
C'è dai, c'è da che vi.
ja, voll super.
Aspetta, tu stai da proprio vi.
Ja, ich bin geil, Digga. Ich hab die Wände.
Hello, Mr. Crossell. How's business been?
Oh, good, very good. All thanks to your advice, Miss Yanfei. What brings you here today?
You're too kind. I was simply doing my job. Now, I believe that the last time we met, you mentioned that you were looking to source some Smaragdus Jadeite to make...
Well, yes. As a matter of fact, in the end, I did acquire a small piece of Smaragdus Jadeite and had it fashioned into a pair of hairpins. Miss Yanfei, might I presume that you have an interest in the hairpins? I must apologize. I've already rented them out to a lady named Zhi Qiao. If you'd like to inspect them, you may have to wait quite some time.
Wait! Isn't Smaragdus Jadeite really rare? Aren't you worried about the hairpins getting damaged or lost while they're being rented out?
No, I'm not worried in the slightest, because I signed a contract with Miss Zhi Qiao before renting them to her. The contract makes it quite clear that if she loses or damages the item in question, she must compensate me for its full original value. In return, I included a clause that guarantees the Smaragdus Jadeite is genuine, with a penalty of 10 times the item's value payable by me to Miss Zhi Qiao in the event that it is shown to be a fake.
Guaranteed genuine, with 10 times the value payable if this claim is shown to be false. Yes, these terms are very clear indeed.
Of course. This way, both the client and I have the assurance we need. To ensure fairness, each of us has retained an original copy of the contract.
In that case, might you know where Miss Zhi lives? We'd like to pay her a visit and have a look at the hairpins.
Oh, of course. She wrote her address down when we signed our contract. Here.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Crossell. We'll be off now.
这个我妈先收获的收手这个。我想要这个慢了就。
Oh, whatever shall I do? Yes, that's me. Is there something I can help you with?
How do you do, Mr. Chow? We understand from Mr. Crossell that you recently rented a pair of hairpins from him. My associates and I are very interested in them. Would you mind letting us take a look at them?
The hairpins? I can't lend them to you right now. I don't know how it could have happened. I always kept them right by my side, and I hadn't even worn. I spent so much money on them. If I have to pay their original value, there's no way I could come up with that amount of money on. My family is in the ore business too, but business has been suffering ever since the chasm was sealed off. We now have a backlog of paid-up orders just sitting around, so we've been having to purchase some stock from other ore merchants to complete them. A big banquet is coming up in a few days, and several ore merchants I know of will be there. I need this opportunity to mingle and discuss prices. That's what the hairpins were for, to keep up appearances. But now that I've lost the hairpins, what will I do?
Why does Paimon have a sudden strong sense of deja vu?
Would you really? I sent a commission to the Adventurers Guild, but I haven't heard anything back from them yet.
Hold on. Don't run off looking for the hairpins just yet. Mr. Chow.
Huh? Well, I mean, sure.
Let me see. That's right! Yanfei said she's a legal advisor, didn't she? True. Though surely there must be a win. Right. I finished reading the contract. The terms are very clear, and they do indeed stipulate that you must pay Mr. Crossell. Furthermore, the contract also expressly states that the amount of compensation must take current market prices into account. And given the rarity of Smaragdus Jadeite, I fear that the final amount of compensation may end up being significantly
even higher. Oh no.
Uh-oh. Juchao looks like she's about to faint. However, all of this is assuming that it isn't. Did you really have to pause before? Whichever way you look at it, we've got to start by. Except that if we found the hairpins, there'd no longer be any need to check whether the Jadeite is genuine.
Please. Please, don't trouble yourselves over this. However much it is, I will have to pay it. My family are now that it's come to this, I really shouldn't keep Crossell in the dark any longer.
Yes, legally speaking. So hold on a moment, Mr. Chow.
What did I feel? Well, I remember that my family has seen much jade pass through its hands in the past, so I am quite certain of my...
Smooth to the touch. No, it's nothing. I just need to re-examine a few things. Let's hit
Ah, Miss Yanfei, you've returned. With Miss Juqiao in tow, too, I see. How are the hairpins?
About...
You lost them? Are you serious? Do you have any idea how expensive...
I'm sorry. Truly I am. I'll pay the compensation as per our contract. Every last mora.
Mora? Do you have any idea what I had to go through to get my hands on that Smaragdus Jadeite? I just don't... Forget it. Talking won't bring them back. Since Miss Yanfei is here, I suppose we can just have her estimate the amount.
No problem. But before I can give an official estimate, I'll need to do a little market research. Ah, yes, and if I may just confirm, it was in fact genuine Smaragdus jadeite inlaid into the hairpins, correct?
Of course! Genuine article guaranteed, or I pay back 10 times the value.
All right, understood. I'll conduct some market research, and once I'm back, I'll provide an official assessment of the sum owed by Mr. Chow in compensation. Please wait here, Mr. Crossell.
Thank you very much. How could she lose my hairpins? She'd better pay every last mora that they're worth.
Looks like I'll have to find some way to raise that money.
Please wait, Mr. Chow. I have something to discuss with you. It's not convenient to speak here, so let's find somewhere that we can sit and talk in more detail.
Boring!
Miss Yanfei, what is this about?
No. What I wanted to talk about is, there is a chance that the ore inlaid on those hairpins may not be Smaragdus jadeite. What do you mean? Are you implying that you... Obviously not. I'm no adventurer, let alone a member of the guild. I don't run thankless, time-consuming errands for a living. Let's just say, I don't know if Granny told you this, but Smaragdus jadeite is found deep underground and contains very concentrated elemental energy. If mere mortals come into contact with it, well, they'll be sick in the best case. And in the worst case, they could even experience a dramatic change of personality. Mr. Chow, did you at any time feel unwell while the hairpins were in your
No, not at all. I felt perfectly fine the whole time.
Now that is strange. I noticed earlier that there were elemental traces. If I've deduced correctly, he may still have the Smaragdus jadeite in his possession.
If that's the case, we should go confront him right now and expose his dirty scam right to his
Absolutely not. If we were to confront him now, there's no way he would admit to it. Eventually, he would find some argument to compel us to leave. And then, he'd throw the Smaragdus jadeite into the sea the moment we were gone. After that, he would simply insist that Mr. Chow pay up per the contract. He would lose nothing. Meanwhile, we would have to look under every stone in Liyue, hoping and praying that the hairpins do actually still exist somewhere in this.
So vivid that Paimon thinks it might be experience.
Oh, it certainly is. I've seen my fair share of situations like this, and brute force methods are certainly one way of resolving them. Fortunately, I have far more elegant solutions at my disposal.
Well then, since you're so experienced in dealing with problems...
Oh, that won't be a problem. But first, Mr. Chow, can I ask you...
Huh? Does there have to be a contract for everything? It feels like Yanfei is even more concerned with them than a certain...
These are my formal terms of engagement. Everything prior to now has just been pro bono advice. But for me to investigate any work commissioned but not bound by a contract cannot be relied upon.
I understand. Then I will be glad to place...
No problem. Just sign here, and I'll sign too. Okay. Now write your address here, and then sign on this page as well. And I'll also need your signatures on pages 5, 7, and on the very last page. Finally, if you could just use this ink pad to make a handprint over here.
This contract has so many pages. Paimon's all out of brain juice again.
All right, that should do it. My fees are the same as always, and they're written in the contract. Have a look through and let me know if you have any questions.
I've had a read through. Everything checks out.
Well then, here's your copy of the contract. I will retain the other copy. Not for now, no. Despite how intractable this problem might sound, it will actually be quite straightforward to resolve. I don't believe you have been part of an investigation like this before, in which case, hopefully this should be quite—
Miss Yunfei, I have to ask.
Because, as it happens, I'm currently trying to acquire some Smaragdus Jadeite myself. I noticed strong traces of geoenergy around Mr. Crossel, so perhaps he has, and whether he actually made it into an item of jewelry or not is a separate matter. But either way, it's a lead. As long as we follow it, who knows? We might just be able to get our hands on some Smaragdus Jadeite. Also, the idea of someone abusing the law to their advantage, I won't stand for it. But again, let's not dwell on this. Let's go to... where can we find... Ah, I've got it! Let's pay a visit to Chateau, the boss of the Jade Mystery. He's a professional when it comes to working with stone and ore. If Mr. Crossel had his ore worked on at all, Chateau would undoubtedly have been his first...
Why, hello there, honored customers. Welcome to... Surely not more spurious claims that my jade betting is rigged and...
No, nothing of the sort. Has a Snezhnyan merchant named Crossel enlisted your ore processing services recently by any chance?
A Snezhnyan merchant named I do remember that. He brought me a piece of ore, claiming that it was Smaragdus Jadeite. That was the first time I'd ever encountered it, so I had no way of telling if it was really Smaragdus Jadeite or not. But if a customer insists, far be it from... He was quite generous with his money, too, so I didn't give it too much thought. I processed the ore as per his request.
Do you have any leftover debris from your work on it?
Why, yes. It was my first time encountering this ore, after all, so I kept a few loose shavings to study myself later. They're right over there.
Thank you, sir. We'll take a look at them.
Try your luck betting on Jade?
Huh? If my eyes don't deceive me, the cross-sections and patterning suggest that these are Smaragdus nephrite shavings. Yes, it's not particularly rare, nor is it especially valuable. It's used to make jewelry all the... I've heard it said that Smaragdus nephrite is in fact the outer layer of Smaragdus jadeite, though no one's ever proven it.
A thin layer of separation, huh?
If you must see for yourself, try examining these shavings for traces of elemental energy. Smaragdus nephrite is an entirely ordinary ore,
Is that so? Well, we might as well give elemental... So, did you find anything? So they really are different. But wait, how come Jichao was able to tell what it was just by looking at the shards? That's pretty awesome.
There's nothing special to it. It just so happens that I've come across a great many of these in my time. These two stones actually look very similar. Someone without a deep understanding of them would find it very difficult to tell them apart. There may be only a subtle difference for the casual viewer, but that translates to and, I'm sure, a significant difference in the cost of having...
All right, let's focus up. We're going off on a tangent.
But never mind, Shirto. Why would Mr...
Unusual actions have unusual reasons behind them. Let's take some of...
Miss Yenfei?
If you could just confirm for me once more, sir. Mr. Crossel did indeed claim that the ore he brought to your store was in fact Smaragdus jade.
Yes, that's right. I still have a record of the job with me, in fact. Here. It says quite clearly, what...
Then I have no further questions. but could I borrow the processing record and these stone shavings?
Of course. But might I ask?
Oh, I have my reasons. Ah, yes. Please sign here on this affidavit. This document shall serve as signed proof that these stone shavings originated from the, ore that Mr. Crossell brought to your store. Please
Yes, I see. Forgive me for asking again.
I wouldn't say there's been an incident, just a minor issue. Thank you, sir. I'll take these with me.
With this hard evidence to back us up, Crossell won't dare try to deny what he did!
On the contrary, this is far from sufficient to build a case. We need to find some. If you want to make jewelry, you need a professional jewelsmith. Let me think. Jewelry. Nope. Aha! Got it! Sinxie. She often helps people to find a jewelsmith. Let's go pay her a visit.
Well, that was quick. How come you know so many people?
Because lots of people come to me for legal advice every day. As you know, Liyue Harbor is the city of contracts. And contracts, well, I should say laws, are very important to us. But the amendments made by the Tianquan to our laws are unnecessarily complicated. How can I put this? As such, legal advisors like myself provide quite the popular service indeed.
So you help them make sense of the law. But didn't you say that it's hard to understand and impossible to finish?
Yes, well, that's no obstacle because I've memorized all the legal codices.
You memorized?
You sound surprised. Knowing the law inside out is a legal advisor's bread and butter, you know? Oh, this has nothing to do with being an adeptus. I just like reading things.
Again, with that casual tone.
Well, that's that then. Let's go look for Sinxie.
Ich habe noch keine Waffe bei ihm gemacht. Die Waffe habe ich dann voll in
Also, normal schade, dass bez snaka, ne? Okay. So. Som level tutaj, ile? Siki, ja. Tyle. خذوا قناة بقت تدري قناة هذا ايش قد ايش كذا غيره
Oh, Miss Yenfei, it's
Okay,
you. Has something happened?
Have no further trouble from then on? Yes, of course. Has a merchant by the name of Crossell asked you to put him in contact with a jewelsmith recently?
Crossell. Yes, I remember him. He's a merchant from Snezhnaya, no? Yes, he came to me with a chunk of something he called. The design of the hairpins that he gave me was quite intricate, so it took me some work to find someone who was up to the job. Eventually, I found an older jewelsmith who made them exactly according to his specifications. This order was on hold for a very long time, and only completed quite recently, which is why I remember it so well.
Doesn't seem like there's any evidence to be found here.
Miss Sinxie, I'd like for you to confirm for me once more. When Mr. Crossell commissioned you to find him a jewelsmith, did he or did he not assert that the material...
Yes, I'm sure of it. The hairpins were made using many expensive materials, and the asking price was quite high, so we had to put this transaction... Mr. Crossell wasn't very familiar with the necessary procedures, so I also kept a copy for my own records. See for yourself. The item is called Smaragdus Jadeite Twin Phoenix Pin. The inlaid gemstone is recorded as Smaragdus Jadeite. The document even has the official seal of the ministry on it.
Thank you, Sinxie. Now, could you let me...
Sure. It isn't serving much purpose here anyway. I take it then that there's been some more trouble?
Nothing you need to worry about. Just a minor issue. I'll return your document as...
Why is everyone's first reaction always to assume someone or something is in trouble?
I believe we have almost all the evidence we need. We just need to make one last trip. Let's go to Boo Boo Pharmacy to speak with Dr. Baiju.
The weirdo with the snake around his neck? What do you want to speak to him for?
Because only he can provide an authoritative statement confirming that Smaragdus Jadeite is harmful to the human. Once we have this final piece of evidence in our hands, we can wrap this case up.
Boring!
Also, werde ich auch eines Tages bekommen.
My, to what do I owe the pleasure? Though I'm afraid that if you're looking for our little Chi-Chi, and if it isn't Miss Yenfei as well, now that's an even rarer honor. What business brings you here, might I inquire? Some charlatans peddling ineffectual medicines again, no doubt?
No. I'm here this time to ask if you're familiar with
Smaragdus Jadeite? Why, yes, there is some information about it included in the 6th commentary on the 7 Mountain Treatises states that this substance springs forth from stone marrow within the mountains and will bring disaster to any mere mortals who... It is abundant in elemental energy, so if someone without a vision is in contact with it for a prolonged period, best case scenario, they fall ill. Worst case scenario, they'll suffer great changes in personality and their illness will only... Anyway, I'm sure you didn't come all this way just to chit-chat. Knowing you, Yenfei, and given the specific nature of... I suppose that you're about to ask me to write an official affidavit attesting to the pharmaceutical peculiarities of
That is indeed the case. If you would be so...
No trouble at all. It's just a single document. Won't take me a moment. I would mention, though, that you are not the only one who's developed a curiosity for Smaragdus Jadeite recently. A snake, but after I gave him my reply, his expression shifted to one of remarkable disappointment. I wonder, Miss Yenfei, if your pressing business might be related...
You needn't concern yourself about that, Dr. Baiju. Thank you for penning us that document.
You're too kind. Take care now.
That Baiju guy is as weird as ever. Is it just Paimon, or does it feel like he was fishing for something back there?
Dr. Baiju's always been like that. Well, we have the evidence we need. Let's go find Mr. Crossel.
Wow. Dan kan hazır. Attribute خو. ضغط وين ما Wien يصل 14.530
Max LP ist schon 8000.
Oh.
Okay, Angriff.
1123.
560.
Okay.
Verteidigung 466.
725.
Elementarkunde
151.
1 viel mehr. 207.
Okay.
Das braucht man noch. Aufladen.
Miss Yanfei, have you finished your investigation? I trust you will now be in a position to assess the compensation due.
Yes, my investigation is indeed concluded. I can now provide a final figure for the amount payable.
Wonderful. Well then, please, could you do the honors, Miss Yanfei?
Of course. According to the stipulate, Mr. Crossell, you must pay Mr. Chow 10 times the original transaction price in Mora.
Sure. Wait, what? Me pay her? Surely there's been some kind of mistake, Miss Yanfei.
Not at all. According to my investigations and the material evidence that we've gathered, the substance claimed to be smaragdus jadeite that was inlaid within the smaragdus jadeite twin phoenix pins that you rented out to Mr. Chow. Now, the contract states very clearly that 10 times the price shall be paid should the article not be genuine. Accordingly, you are liable for this sum, which is payable to Mr. Chow.
Material evidence? What material evidence? Why, Miss Yanfei, you cannot frame me like this. I spent a huge sum to obtain that smaragdus jadeite, and yet you claim that the ore inlaid on the hairpins is somehow fake? I demand—
Indeed. Only a testimony from an expert witness involved in the processing of the ore can serve as an authoritative assessment of whether it is genuine. Traveler, please produce the evidence in question. This is a processing record from the Jade Mystery, along with stone samples and an affidavit signed by the business owner.
Seriously? Even the boss there couldn't differentiate between smaragdus jadeite and smaragdus nephrite. How does this prove anything? In any case, smaragdus nephrite is the outer layer of smaragdus jadeite. So I had him cut away the nephrite, he returned the valuable jadeite core to me, and some nephrite samples remain in the store. What am I
That's an unsubstantiated belief.
Well, your claim that my ore is fake is just as unsubstantiated. And we are here to talk about evidence, aren't we?
Ugh. Looks like our first piece of evidence didn't convince him at all. Seems like he came prepared. What should we do next?
Hard evidence, something legally binding. We have just the thing. Show him, Traveler. Oh, come on. I meant the backup copy of the document from the Ministry of Civil Affairs. The one we got from Sinxi of Mingsing Jewelry.
This document proves that my hairpins are the real deal, doesn't it? This is the Ministry's seal, after all. It shows that the ore inlaid on the pins is indeed
Our second piece of evidence didn't work either. And this guy's getting more belligerent by the...
You know, you could be right. Perhaps the hairpins are the real deal after all.
Of course I'm right. All the evidence shown supports my story.
Well, hang on a moment now, because I do recall one final piece of evidence that we haven't revealed yet. Traveler, would you do the honors? This shall serve as decisive proof of our case.
What's this?
Smaragdus jadeite springs forth from stone marrow within the mountains and will bring disaster to any mere mortals who touch it. Sustained contact with smaragdus jadeite over a prolonged period will, in less serious cases, cause a mild malady, while in serious cases, Mr. Crossell, were you aware of these peculiar properties of smaragdus jadeite?
I had no idea.
No idea, you say? I'd guessed as much. But for you to have rented out such a dangerous item, I'm afraid that this falls outside the scope of my work, but within that of the Ministry of Civil Affairs. However, I'm sure that the Ministry will be relatively lenient considering that, as you say, you were ignorant of the danger you put. Don't worry, Mr. Crossell. I will make sure that all the evidence presented here will be handed over to the Ministry. I trust that you'll give them your full cooperation in their investigations.
What? Wait! I knew.
Oh, so you knew? Oh, dear Mr. Crossell. But if you knew of smaragdus jadeite's dangerous—
Huh? No, the hairpins
aren't actually inlaid with genuine smaragdus jadeite? Is that what you were about to say? You do understand, Mr. Crossell, that this means that you will have to pay Mr. Chow 10 times the original price. Mr. Crossell, your answer, please. My client—
Yep, he's seriously intimidating right now. It's like she's a different person.
I admit it. I confess. The ore I had inlaid on those hairpins was Smaragdus nephrite. But I'm a victim in all of this too. I invested a great deal of time and money into acquiring that small amount. But after receiving it and carrying it around for a few days, I started to feel extreme discomfort. I couldn't sleep a wink or eat a single bite. I went to Boo Boo Pharmacy to get myself checked out, only to discover that this sort of stone cannot be worn as jewelry. But how could I let all that money go to waste? That's why I had another pair of hairpins made from Smaragdus nephrite, which is almost indistinguishable from Smaragdus jadeite. I kept the real Smaragdus jadeite in a specially made box. I daren't touch it again. I was worried that someone would see through it, which is why I only dared to rent them out, not sell them. And then to top it all off, Zhiqiao...
Exactly! If they weren't the real deal, why'd you make her pay so much?
I didn't want to either, but when I purchased that Smaragdus jadeite, some of my business partners found out. I knew they'd be watching closely to see how much I could make off it. If word got out that I sold a pair of fake hairpins, then my days in this line of business would be over.
All right, let's cut the appeals phase right there. I failed to see what bearing any of this has on your transaction with my client. According to the contract, you must pay Mr. Chow 10 times the original price and...
10 times?
Crosel looks like he could faint any second.
As for me, according to my contract with Mr. Chow, 20% of that sum will go to me.
20%? That's as much as I spent on that Smaragdus jadeite!
There's no need. It's fine. You don't have to pay me that much, Mora. Even if the Smaragdus jadeite on those hairpins was fake, I still bear responsibility for losing them. Legally or not, I think I owe some compensation for that.
Ms. Zhiqiao...
However, Mr. Crosel, since you have no use for that chunk of Smaragdus jadeite, why don't you give it to me instead?
What? But all right, then. This cursed...
Miss Yunfei, I'll turn the Smaragdus jadeite over to you. I trust that it will suffice as remuneration?
Well, that's not quite how the rules say this should go.
Thanks so much for your help this time, Miss Yunfei. When you have the time, I'll be sure to visit and express my thanks more appropriately.
Oh, come on. No need to stand on ceremony. Now, if I may confirm this again, Mr. Chow.
Well, yes,
Well then, that's good. Mr. Crosel, it seems that my client has no further claims against you.
Is that so?
Actually, Mr. Crosel, I'd like to talk business for a second. I could see from the hairpins you produce that you're very skilled in jewelry design. My family, on the other hand, works in the ore business, and we have a fair stock of fine ores. If we could join forces, your jewelry designs and our choice ores, I think we could do some...
Let me think for a moment.
Well, that's that. And we've got the Smaragdus jadeite that Granny wants too. All's well that ends well, eh?
Exactly. Usually when someone tells us they've lost something, we end up searching all over the place for it. But this time, you managed to solve the problem with just a... even though the solution didn't involve actually finding the hairpin.
The right solution depends on your perspective on the problem. The objective of my client, Mr. Chow, was to reduce her liability to pay compensation. So, rather than looking